guns, gear, on target training out here in Oregon. Before we get started, if you enjoy our content, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Today we're going to be talking about a few products from Sylvan Arms. Many of you may know Sylvan Arms. They make a ton of accessories and sell a bunch of different products for ARs and AKs. So some of you are familiar with the folding stock adapter. That's one of their products. Anyway, whatever you want, it's like they got. We were sent to test a couple of products, and one of the ones I want to start with is the Glock 9mm Compensator, specifically designed obviously for the Glock pistol. So the Compensator screws on your threaded barrel at the muzzle. Then there are small Allen screws that you tighten it down with. And if you're just going to leave it on the gun and shoot a lot, then putting Loctite glue or something like that might be a good practice. Compensators work, and they've been around forever. Compensators work by directing some of the pressure and the gas to the side and mostly up. And as that gas is escaping and it's moving up, that's going to push the muzzle down during recoil. So where you notice this in shooting is less muzzle rise. And as someone, again, with my physical handicap, my left hand, my left arm, you know, I don't have the kind of two-handed grip that would be ideal that many people who have two hands can do. So I'm doing the best I can with what I have. So putting a compensator on a pistol, particularly if it were a competition type scenario, adds some value. So I put about 200 rounds through this Glock 19 yesterday and tried it with this, and I have another stock barrel, obviously, so I just slid the stock barrel in and went back and forth. Now, in watching the video, you don't notice from the viewer standpoint a huge difference. From the shooter standpoint, from my perspective, it was much easier to get back on the front sight faster. And that helps, obviously, because I'm able to make the hits quicker and more effectively. Is it as fast as people with two hands? The gun doesn't move in their hands and all you see is the slide cycling back and forth. It's not, because of my handicap, so let's just get that out of the way. But it's really interesting and relatively inexpensive. I think it's a $70 to $80 product, maybe a little less, depending on where you get it. But it's kind of a cool little thing if you have a barrel with a threaded muzzle on it, where you're running a can, where you just have that set up. Running compensators is kind of interesting. Now, one thing to note about when you're running compensators is if you're using lighter loads, heavier loads, say some of my reloads, the 147 reloads, powder puff loads that I use, the gun does not cycle reliably. But when I was shooting 115 grain or 124 grain, just standard factory ammunition, no problem at all, ran 100% reliably. But it is something to think about. The other thing, and the reason I wouldn't recommend it for a self-defense weapon, is you're going to get potentially much more muzzle blast and flash coming up into your line of sight. So for that reason, I wouldn't use it on a self-defense pistol, but to each his own. We all have our particular things that we like or don't like. So something to think about if you're looking for a product like a compensator, to look at Sylvan Arms. They got all kinds of stuff. One of the other things they sent us, which is a really nice thing for anybody who owns Glock pistols, is this little Glock set. So it comes with two things that you use a lot if you own a Glock. One is if you swap sights out, try different sights. So this is the basically hex tool for screwing your front sight in. And then your regular standard sort of Glock pin punch. Like, you can totally, completely detail strip a Glock pistol with just this tool, which is one reason why I kind of think Glocks are pretty cool. They also sent us this 3-piece Picatinny rail set. And this is designed for M-Lok systems, so if you have an M-Lok rifle, right, any of the fore ends on that kind of stuff, this will work. So there's a 7-slot kit, a 3-slot kit, and then a sling mount that allows, and this is really cool, guys, it allows just your standard QD and the ability to use a clip system. M-Lok. So this is a really slick setup, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to press on either side, line up my slot, and there it is. And man, it's locked in. It's not going anywhere. And when I want to take it off, press on either side. That, my friend, is a great M-Lok accessory. Depending on the type of sling system you're using, right, you may have the standard ones with QD, or, and this goes back many, many years, this is the Magpul design, where you can clip this if you have the attachment underneath at the back of the frame. You clip that in, and then you clip this on. So you can take a sling like this that could be a single point, right, in this configuration, or a 2-point. And so the Sylvan Arms design of being able to allow the user, you on your AR, your AK, to have different sling attachments so you can attach it with the standard QD attachment, or with the ability here with this loop here to be able to use this type of sling attachment, really is cool. So I strongly recommend you check Sylvan Arms out. Great products, super high quality, and a ton of stuff for accessorizing your handguns or rifles. Well, guys, I really appreciate you watching. Finally, and as always, stay safe. Factory ammunition. And now what we're going to do is shoot 15 rounds through a regular barrel without the compensator.